Haughtiness. Too good for that. Haughtiness is an indicator that you're dealing with a narcissist. Of course, it has to be seen alongside many of the other traits and characteristics. And not all narcissists do exhibit haughty behaviours, but of course still remain narcissists. The haughty narcissists include lower lesser, middle lesser, particularly upper lesser type B, lower mid-range, especially upper mid-range, and the greaters. The haughtiest tend to be upper lesser type B and upper mid-range. Cutting, dismissive responses, which are, of course, designed to nullify a threat to control and draw fuel. There are different manifestations of haughtiness, and one is the concept of being too good for that. Narcissists, of course, regard ourselves as superior. Even a victim narcissist, remember that's a cadre, not a school, has a superior view of himself. He's special because of his illness and infirmity, and this means that he should be treated better than everybody else. The somatic narcissist is better looking, physically fitter, and has a tighter bottom than anybody else. The cerebral narcissist is cleverer, more intellectual, a brilliant advocate, and has a brain the size of a planet. And as for the elite, well, not only do they look great, but they're dazzling, witty, entertaining, and knowledgeable, superior in every department to the likes of their victims. Of course, the extent to which this occurs varies upon the school. Therefore, there are some somatics who think they're gorgeous but they're not, whereas there are others who are, quite clearly, very physically attractive. The point is the perception that the narcissist has of themselves, regardless of whether that's backed up or not by what is happening, how they look, how they behave. This lofty sense of ourselves is apparent all of the time because our narcissism states there's no need to hide our light under a bushel. Oh, we may, in some instances, attach false modesty to some of our brags and boasts, but it's only done to generate an ever more appreciative response from people around us, the well-known humble brag. And that will be demonstrated more often by your mid-range narcissists, both A and B. We do like to remind ourselves of our superiority repeatedly. It appears during seduction, and you will naturally regard it as an attractive quality, labelling it as confidence, a dynamic approach, someone who doesn't show fear, gets things done, an achiever, someone with a bit of pizzazz, a bit of vim, a bit of get up and go, somebody successful who doesn't want to be associated with such a person. Accordingly, our concept of superiority will be exhibited in plain sight, but portrayed as a good thing. It continues during devaluation as we repeatedly remind you that we are the master and you're the servant, that we are in charge and therefore you are not. We do and you are done too. Even when we hoover you, we maintain this position of superiority because it's linked to the assertion of control, because someone who wants you back after the way that you have behaved, or someone who falsely recognizes their own shortcomings, must surely be superior, mustn't they? The unleashed smearing is another piece of the assertion of control through superiority. We are not smeared. No, we are impervious to it. Nobody would dare do it, and if they tried, well, nobody would believe the smearer, because our innate superiority embodied in the facade that we have created, where mid-range or greater or the ultra, shouldn't be surmounted. Every single step of your dance with our kind is linked to this notion of superiority, whether genuine or imagined. It is felt, seen, heard, and witnessed from the way that we behave with you through to the way that we behave with others. It's natural for us to act with this superiority in differing forms, and it is this ever-present superiority that manifests with certain narcissists as haughtiness, a dismissive, arrogant, boorish, know-it-all approach to dealing with people, and it seizes on a strand of aggression from the narcissist in terms of its manifestation. Superiority links to control, and by asserting control and nullifying any threat, there are certain phrases that are utilized, especially when it comes to the concept of haughtiness and too good for that. Where you hear these phrases being used, they are indicators. Remember, you have to look at other determinative behavior alongside of it, but these are common phrases that you will hear when a narcissist is using the manipulation of haughtiness to put you down by demonstrating that they're too good for that. And as I mentioned, you're most likely going to hear that in respect of upper lesser type B, upper mid-range, and greater narcissists, alongside the ultra. I'm now going to provide you with 20 examples of the manifestation of the manipulation of haughtiness, where the narcissist takes the position of being too good for that. Number 1. I don't do domesticated. 2. I would never shop there. It is for the great and washed. 3. I wouldn't expect you to understand what I am saying, but you could at least try. 4. Someone has to lead, someone has to make the decisions. 5. Don't expect me to do something like that. 6. Don't be sorry, be accurate, like I am. 7. I don't have time for this. 8. That isn't something I would ever be found doing. 9. People like me are above things like that. 10. Yes, well, it's about your level, isn't it? 11. Don't worry about it. How would you ever know that? 12. These things are best left to people like me. 13. It can be tough at the top, you know. 14. I don't shovel shit. 15. Do I look like a cleaner to you? 16. I have more important things to do. 17. This is my new shy. 18. Come back when you earn as much as I do. 19. Show me a good loser, and I will show you a loser. 20. Do you know who I am?